The highlight was my retreat, and I put together a little story, and I shared that with everybody. So that was the highlight of last week's, and everything else that had to do with that retreat. Let me try to get today's. Here's the topics for this week. Well, first of all, we have to remember, I don't have a picture to show you, but Reverend John J, Midday SJ, October 4th, 2011. Good friend of Mom's. He shows up in her scrapbooks a lot. And of course, he was a teacher at St. Ignatius High School in Cleveland, so he probably knew Father Paul. And I imagine he knew Sister Margaret Mary as well. Am I right?
Oh, yes, yes.
All
A
right.
whole family with
Yeah.
a
Yeah. So
family.
typically, I don't comment or mention classmates of, I don't know if I got that out, classmate of Mom's.
Yes.
He graduated the same year as Mom in 1937. And she's got, you know, his card when he was ordained and all that kind of stuff. So real good family friend, and in the whole family, as Sister Margaret Mary mentioned. Walter Naegeli, who was my uncle, also died on October 5th, 1971. So we want to remember him. I mentioned him on Facebook, and Jim thanked me for remembering him. Also, John Charles Naegeli. That's the name that I think we settled on after I completed all my research. We thought for a while he might have been Jean Charles Naegeli, but I've got records now that substantiate that. I still don't know where the Charles came from, but it shows up often enough in some of his records that we're going to stick with it. And of course, there were some Carls in the family tree, so I imagine he got it from another one of his uh, aunts or grandfather or something like that. October 7th, 1936, he passed on. So just nod your head and say a silent prayer for all three of those guys. Time's up. Gotta go on. Harvest Fest 2013 and 2014. I said more Harvest Fest, and there's a 2013, or maybe this is vice versa, 2014. There we all are. And of course, you all remember Ruth's mother. She shows up in 2013. And of course, there's Cindy. Let's see. So that's it as far as Harvest Fest. Does anybody remember those particular Harvest Fest for any particular reason? You know, one of them looks like it was a cold. I remember the cold, breezy day because we got all our coats on. Do you remember the one that was real cold? And
Yes.
anyway, I do.
I had I have a heavy jacket on there.
Yeah, yeah, we all do. It didn't stop us from coming. Let's see what else. I've got my phone on energy saver, and I have to constantly start. Okay, I do have one story I'm going to bore you with, but before I bore you with that story, let me just highlight this picture here. This is the prayer shawls, etc. Ministry, Sisters of Humility, Mary, HM Voice, fall 2020.
Yeah,
Can you tell us, did you
I
actually make some of those prayer shawls?
I did, and I had mostly um, scarves and baby blankets. I was my signature was baby blankets most of the time. I made them for the babies
Oh,
in the hospital. Sometimes mothers don't have anything to take their little one home, and so we both hospitals we provide them baby blankets. And that's Sister Mary Ann Warner to the first on my right, and then that's Sister Susan Gauntner. Once in a while, they'd take pictures of the prayer shawl people, and that was one day when they put them all on display and used that picture for something about the ministries of the sisters. So that happens to be a remembrance of mine. Yes, I do remember that day. Yeah,
yeah, that was in the Sisters of Humility of Mary HM Voice, the magazine. And you
right.
show up a lot in that magazine, actually. I have to keep my uh, eyes open. And of course, Cindy's pretty aware of what goes on in that magazine as well. All right. I've got another of
There's,
Millie's.
there's your father's there, Bob
Oh, yeah,
Naegeli.
well, that's what I was going to mention. That's the scrapbook entry. Um, let's see.
He's in the
Yeah, okay,
Naegeli.
now that's the story. Let me talk about this one first because I don't have, this is a scrapbook entry. I don't particularly have a story, because I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't do two stories. I only do one story. Anyway, that's a movie Mom went to way back. Third finger, left hand, and of course she mentions it in her scrapbook entry, and there's a review. It was at the Lowe's Theater. I think it's great that she has all of this information. That's just the AI picture. I wanted to get the title in there nice and bold so everybody could share it. But this is an actual photo from the movie itself. Uh, famous movie stars back then. Uh, I could tell you who they are. It was Vernon Loy or something like that. I could look it up. Let me just read from the story. These pictures here, the one that sister commented on with my dad. Let me get that. That's the remembrance card for Walter Naegeli. Oh, this is I should have mentioned this. John Charles Naegeli has a gravestone now, thanks to Jim Naegeli. He sent me that photo, and so he was buried at, I think it's St. Peter's Cemetery, or maybe St. John's Cemetery. Anyway, he didn't have a marker, and now he does, thanks to Jim Naegeli. 1942, October 6th. Millie carefully crafted her scrapbook. Each page is testament to her love and pride for her husband, Robert. She delicately placed a photo of Robert in his Navy uniform, a bright smile on his face, and captioned it, Electrician's Mate, Third Class, Petty Officer Robert C. Naegeli. As she turned the page, she added a newspaper clipping about Robert's promotion to Aviation Electrician's Mate, Second Class, Navy promoted Robert C. Naegeli at 920 Troy Place Northwest has been promoted to Aviation Electrician's Mate, Second Class in the Navy, the article read. Millie's eyes welled up with tears as she thought about Robert's journey. She had been informed of his safe arrival overseas, and she couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions, pride in his service, but also worry about his safety. She added a few more mementos to the page, including from a letter from Robert and a map of the places he had visited. As she closed the scrapbook, she smiled, knowing that she would treasure these memories forever. The photo of Robert in his uniform remained her favorite, a reminder of the sacrifices he made for their country. Millie's heart swelled with love and admiration for her husband, and she knew that she would be counting the days until he returned home. Now, isn't that a great story?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank you, Chuck.
I did a pretty good job of narrating too, didn't I?
You did.
That's it. Those are the only things I wanted to comment on. Uh, what I'm going to do always is remember folks first. Okay, and then I'll try to do something whimsical, or whatever. And I stick to people and events that should be of interest to the people that are on the Zoom session. Okay, so unless there's further comment, I'm going to close the whiteboard.